Welcome to Concerning Pipers, a podcast concerning all things pipes and tobacco. I'm your host, Mike.
Hey, I am Jump.
I'm Chris.
Chris is a guest with us tonight. We actually have a couple guests on this episode. Chris comes to us as a new pipe smoker. He's actually been smoking for how long? You been smoking now, Chris?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. All right. So Anthony, as Ant-Man Killer Briar 626, could not be with us. He is out of town with his family at Gatlinburg, visiting a local brick and mortar there. So that's exciting. Also want to give a huge shout out to the Dapper Gentleman in Ringgold, Georgia, filming from. Andrew Stone is the owner and has blessed us with this fine location to shoot our video. So we want to do some how are you, Jump? How are you? You doing good?
I am doing great.
Doing great.
I have 4 puppies in my kitchen right now,
Four
and they are doing what puppies do
Oh man.
in the kitchen, on the floor.
You got enough dog food?
And I have dog food, and I'm mixing. Anyway, yeah, I've got 4 puppies
Nice.
in my kitchen. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you got them.
They're doing what puppies do in the kitchen floor
Oh my god.
as we speak.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
that's a lot. All right. So Chris, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and I do not have 4 puppies in my kitchen.
Chris does not have 4 puppies in the kitchen. So yeah, that's that. So what we want to do to start off this podcast is do a lot of thank yous. Thank you for all the subscribers last episode, the shares on Instagram. As you guys know, Instagram is where I mostly hang out, do a lot of reels and talking about this podcast that we do on YouTube. That's where we got our start, was Instagram. If you're not already a follower, go on there and go to concerning.pipers on Instagram and give us a follow. Also check out, the YouTube channel, www.concerningpipers.com.
And let me thank Yardism on YouTube. He has let us talk on his live channels, and we're trying to make a connection here. I know you can hear that. It's a FaceTime call. Let's just wait until he calls us back.
That's what I don't
We're but anyway, on Yardism's channel, he has live sessions all the time. About every other night, seems like he's live on his YouTube channel, and he gives us shout outs all the time, and I greatly appreciate that. Him, and also let's see, the Nashville Mafia, they also pushed the podcast on their Wednesday night live channel. That was a real help, and I appreciate them doing that.
Great.
Very, very kind. So thank you.
Thank yous. All right. Moving on, we've got some unboxing videos to do. This is going to be really fun. First thing I want to do is give each of you guys a gift.
No way.
Yes, sir. Way. This is for you.
No way.
You want to show the camera?
No, let's see what we got. This says Nerup, Denmark. Nice blue velvet bag here. Oh, sweet. I love this pipe. I'm always telling him how much I love this pipe. So this is Mike's pipe that I'm always drooling over. So it's probably got some of my drool in it, as a matter of fact, because I drool.
I cleaned it really good before I gave it to you. So.
Thank you so much, man.
Yes, sir.
Fine dude right there.
Yes, sir. So that is the thank you for starting the podcast. Chris, as a new pipe smoker, somebody gave me a pipe when I first started, and I want to do full circle, spread the love.
Thank you.
That is for you. If you want to show the camera.
I can get it open. There we go.
Sweet.
Nice pipe.
So that is a Roma bent Dublin. shape. The Roma is from the makers of Savinelli. It's it's just a really clean Italian briar smoker. The bit Dublin makes it a really good English bowl. I find it's all preference. But man, that's a really good English pipe.
Very nice.
Thank you.
It's lightly smoked. I've maybe smoked out of it 3 times. I cleaned it up real good, polished it. This is for you. This is it's a Presbyterian mixture by Scandinavia Tobacco Company.
I heard y'all talk about that one.
That's actually been around, I believe, since like the 1920s.
Long
I
time.
mean, it's been around forever. It's been reblended and redone by multiple different tobacco companies, but it's true to its name. It's just solid English, real light, great all-day smoker.
Scandinavian Tobacco Company, by the way, bought quite a few companies. They own, is it Pipes and Cigars they own? They own them. They own an online company. They own Peterson. They bought Peterson. They bought Lane Tobaccos. They bought, let's see, they bought Lane. They bought Peterson. They bought, is anybody in the chat, the live chat? Nope.
Okay.
Let's see. Anyway, they owned quite a few tobacco brands. So
Okay. Excellent. Well, that sounds awesome. Chris, you got anything you want to talk about or no? Okay, we'll move on to the
Come on, thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's the style of pipe I've been looking at.
Yeah, well, good. I'm
Names
glad.
like
I'm
that.
glad you like it, man. I'm glad you like it. So, on Instagram, about 2 weeks ago, I won. They did a giveaway for a little bit of something that we're going to talk about in a second. And I want to give a huge shout out to tobaccopipes.com for not only hosting the giveaway, which is so cool, but also selecting me to be one of their winners. I think they had 6 in total. A couple of them I know, Pipes and Prosthetic on Instagram, Vintage Dad Aesthetic on Instagram, Lone Star Pipecraft. Him and I become a couple pen pals there. He's a cool guy. I think that's all I know. That's all I remember. If I forgot, I'm sorry. So we'll go ahead and rip into this. I've already ripped into it and looked at it. So we won some Carolina Red Flake with Perique from Cornell and Deal.
very nice.
Some small batch limited release. Check the date on that tin.
21.
09/21. So that's I think that's when it actually just came out. So yeah, see date on the tin, September 2021.
Cool.
Yep. So that's gonna be one heck of a smoke right there, fellas. That's good stuff. Got a stress ball with their logo on it. It says for pipe and tobacco acquisition disorder. We all know I have that. My wife knows all too well. Got a little check tool with their logo, tobaccopipes.com. I've got 30 of these. So Chris, that is for you.
Very nice.
Yeah. Also, tobaccopipes.com lighter. Also for you. And I forgot about this a few minutes ago. Got this for you too, Chris. It is for being a guest on our show, a Zippo lighter, already fueled up and ready to go. So whenever you want to pack that Presbyterian in that fight, we'll go over that in a second. Good to go there. Second box, please. This comes to us from Buford, Georgia. The Georgia Piper on Instagram.
Very
Great
cool.
guy, man. Solid dude. Got us some goodies. Congratulate us for our podcast launch last week.
Sweet.
Gave us some Dunhill 3-year matured Virginia.
Very nice.
Now this is from 2004. I don't confess that I opened it up and looked at it. It was pretty dry. So what I've done is I've actually, we could talk a little bit about this maybe today, maybe on a different video, but hydrating the tobacco. I've got a hydration disc at the bottom, sprinkled a little distilled water in there. I've got to let this sit for about 2 weeks before I can crack it open. But good
Very
stuff.
nice.
Got us some Briarworks Sweet Tea tobacco. Really good, smooth smoke there.
Very nice.
Got me a Zippo lighter. Oh yeah, show off that Briarworks. So a Zippo lighter there with a little hand holding a pipe. Cool stuff. Now the guy, he's a swell dude. He's a real avid collector of pipes and Zippo lighters. So he sent me by surprise a Josh Dragonbriar Bulldog right there.
Very cool.
How pretty is that,
See
huh?
if we can put that in
How pretty is
a
that?
little better light there.
Man,
See that sun rays carved in there?
unsmoked too. Look at that. All right, the second pipe. Now I tried my darndest to find a website that had this pipe. I don't know. He bought it for as an estate for $5 off somebody. And I think with that little dot, I don't know if you guys can see on the camera, is a Maestro. They're known for the little dot. It's a Maestro Italian Briar. Now I'm pretty sure that's what that is. But regardless, the grain, the bowl shape, it's a fine Virginia smoker right here. Fine. And I actually think that I'm gonna break open the Cardinal Sin and break open that Carolina Red Flag and smoke it. I can't wait to smoke it. I'm gonna jar it. Don't worry.
Very cool.
And so this one, last but not least,
Dang, how many boxes you got?
man, I've got this one and one more. So patience. So this is it's a very important package.
People loading us up.
This one comes from my wife.
You can't see your face.
I know. I'm hiding it. This big box. This comes from my wife. I need a knife. I didn't open this one prior. Thank you. My wife ordered this for us
Oh my goodness.
as a launch podcast celebration.
So it's food.
Yada yada yada. And I think there's some tobacco in here. Anyway, probably shouldn't have given me a knife, by the way. So I have not opened here. I don't know what's in here. All right. Whoa. All right, there we go. I'm gonna have to really rip it up here. Look like a kid on Christmas morning. Here you go. See?
Looks like a church warden.
Oh, baby.
Peterson church warden.
Look at that. Peterson box. Oh, man. Wow. Well, they really make sure you don't get to it, huh? They really want you to work for it here. All right, we got it. There we go. I'm gonna hand that to
Wow.
you. Yeah. So it's a Peterson. It looks like it's a bit Dublin church warden. Very nice.
Beautiful.
Look at
That is a beautiful pipe.
a
very,
Hobbit
very
balance
nice.
pipe. Thank you to my wife. Shout out.
Beautiful pipe.
All right. So what else we got? I think we've got some other goodies in here. Uh-oh. A couple things of tobacco. So we've got some Cornell and Deal St. Patrick's Day Reserve in 2022. So actually, that's right. SmokingPipes.com. If you go on there now, they have a deal where you buy a Peterson, you get a tin of St. Patrick's Day Reserve from 2022. That's exciting stuff. And we've got some Cornell and Deal Bow-Legged Bear,
Oh, nice.
my favorite.
If you've never had bow-legged bear, you need to try it.
Yes.
That's something that you gave me last week. That was real good.
It is what I gave you
It
last
is
week.
So
Yep.
good.
I'm gonna probably put that on the table. That'll probably get smoked. This is gonna get smoked on St. Patrick's Day. So speaking of St. Patrick's Day,
Tell your
another
wife,
show.
thank you very much.
What?
Tell your wife thank you.
Yes.
for adding
Thank
to our
you. Thank you,
podcast.
Summer. Thank you, my wife. Her name is Summer, by the way. Speaking of St. Patrick's Day, it's that time of the year where we're all Irish, right? You need to check out Buttons for Your Britches.
Cool.
They're on Instagram. The guy's name is Larry, solid guy. He actually makes pipe tampers.
Oh,
This
cool.
comes from Larry in Michigan. It's a actual leprechaun.
Super cool.
Seamus
Check
the
that out, Chris.
leprechaun. Check that out. And of course, I had to get the Zippo lighter to match. You know me. I'm a
Very nice.
Very nice.
We're restoking the fire.
We're stoking the fire.
That's right. All right, so that's enough of that. Let's put some of this. We'll box this all up later. We'll just put it out on the table. Let everybody see. Last box, and this gets into our next segment called "Put That in Your Pipe and Smoke It." So this comes from Cloud Bear on Instagram. Sent us some goodies. Sent me a Capri Italian Briar. And I don't know if you know anything about Capri, but they're excellent smokers. They're like 50,
nice.
60 bucks. Real clean, real smooth. And that goes to you, Chris, as your second pipe.
Wow.
So now you've got a little nice, you got three, which is, I recommend to any new, I think you can agree. You want to weigh in. I think 3 is a good start. You got your different shapes. You've got your English, your Virginia, and your aromatic on your cob. There's something like smoking aromatics out of a cob. I don't know, something about it. I love it. So, right?
Very nice.
Cool deal.
Thank you.
So anyway, got this for you, Jump. This is
Sweet.
the Cornell and Deal Folklore Special blend that came out with earlier this year.
Beautiful.
He sent us a little bitty cake of it. I've had a little bit of it. It's good. It's got the Ishmael cigar leaf, and I know you like cigars as well as you like your pipe. So I figured you'd enjoy that a lot more than me. So
I will.
now this is Cloud Bear's own blend. I think Anthony's gonna kill me, but I promised Cloud Bear I would smoke this on the channel. This is called Ass Kicker. So that's what I'm gonna smoke. You could join me where you can smoke anything except for the Dunhill on the table. So you pick.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke the folklore.
The Folklore. Okay, so let's make some room. Time for our next segment called Pipe Smoking 101. A lot of pipe channels out there. I love them all. I love the community. But I've noticed that a lot of them don't do a sit down with a new pipe smoker. So that's why with Ant-Man being absent, I've asked Chris to join us tonight as a new pipe smoker. For him to ask you questions, because how long have you been smoking a pipe again? Tell me.
Since 1986.
Since 1986, a long time. Since dinosaurs walked the earth, right?
Yeah,
That's
pretty
right.
much.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna have a little Padawan Master Yoda segment, a little wax on, wax off, right? Pipe smoking. So if you guys let y'all have at it, I'm gonna load my pipe and pick whatever you want. We got a little smorgasbord right here of what you could open whatever you want. I really.
Sounds good.
I've got enough jars at home to where you guys can have.
What do you think you're gonna smoke there, Chris?
If you don't mind, I'd like to know how to use that stuff, the flake.
The flake?
Yes.
Folklore? Okay,
Because
great.
all I've done is, of course, first
Excellent.
pipe didn't know how to do it. He showed me how to pack ribbon. That's all I've done so far.
Great.
Excellent. So we're gonna talk. They're gonna talk about how to pack flake tobacco. I'm gonna shut up.
This already has some broken off, but pretty much you break off as much as you think you're gonna, smoke, and it takes experience and you have to go through that experience, not somebody else. So
So you break some off. Yeah. Okay.
to determine how much is too much and how much is too little. So I'm just going to pinch some off, and I'm gonna let you pinch some off too, and so you can kind of feel what that's like and how much you can feel it break apart. And once you get some there,
I'm gonna assume that might be enough. Of course, last time I said that, I got some of his, and it ended up being about 3 or 4 bowls. I was wanting one bowl.
oh yeah,
Try it, and it ended up being 3 or 4.
yeah, you get some more, and then just pick it up with your fingers and roll it in between your fingers like that, and then let it fall
So
back
just
down.
breaking it apart. Okay.
Yeah, just let it fall back down into the tray there. And some people will lay the whole piece in their hands and they'll rub it. The reason I don't do that is because the middle of my palm has a lot of oils in it. And so I don't like to add the oil of my palm into the tobacco. But a lot of people do that because it doesn't bother them. But I have less oil on the end of my fingers.
Right.
And so that's why I do it this way. I pick it up and I just try to use the end of my finger to separate than to put it in the palm of my hand. But you'll see a lot of old timers, they'll just grab it, they'll just dump it right there, and they'll just do this right here, and they're done. It's a really quick way to do it.
Then you just pack it like normal.
And then you just drop it in like normal. You just gravity feed it, which is something you and I have already talked about. You just let the tobacco fall into your pipe.
Flow like water.
And can the camera see my hands, John? So I just let the tobacco fall into my pipe. And once it's full, I press down a little bit. I'm not pressing hard. All I want to do is fill the space. That right there is a real light colored piece, and it's pretty stiff, and I'll let you hold that so you can see. That I'm not going to smoke. See how that piece is?
Almost
That
looks
is
like a stem.
uh-huh. So I'm not going to smoke that piece. That's rare that you'll find that in a pipe tobacco that's that thick. Load it up some more, and I just want it to be spongy like the side of my cheek, and not any more than that. And I don't mind it where it's domed over the top. And some people will say that when they light it, that the tobacco expands, and some people describe it that it shrinks. And the truth is that it actually does expand. But what happens is it does expand, but it's really just moving. And so in its expansion, it might actually go down into the bowl. So you might see it go both directions. And so that first light is a char light or a false light. And so that first light you light while you're drawing. And you want the flame to be over the top of the tobacco. And first of all, let me say this. There's no right and wrong way to smoke a pipe if you're enjoying it. So if you're enjoying it and you're not burning your tongue off and you're having a ball, then keep doing what you're doing. So ignore what I'm saying if what I tell you doesn't work for you. But if you light the pipe, light it above the pipe, and then let your draw pull the flame down into the
That will keep
tobacco.
this from happening.
Yeah, it keeps it does. It keeps
Because I was wondering how to keep that from happening.
It
To burn
keeps,
out.
yeah, it keeps the top of the rim of the pipe from charring, from getting, and it'll make that pipe last a lot longer. So you keep the light above it, and then you draw it down. And then once you have you see enough red, you tamp it real light. And then you light it one more time with that flame above, and you pull it down.
You like that? Oh, go for it. Yeah, use
I don't
whatever.
have one on me.
So that's that Sheck tool.
Well, yeah, it does, but it's wrapped up.
And this time, when you tamp, you're going to tamp it, and you're going to find that it goes down further.
There we go.
And if you pay attention to your pipe, you'll notice that if you tamp while you draw, if you draw while you tamp, every now and then that ember will stay lit all the way through your pipe if you've got a perfect consistency all the way through that. But your pipe's got to be right. The consistency of that tobacco's got to be right. The moisture's got to be right. Everything's got to be just right. The chances of that are slim to none. So, eventually you'll be like, man, this tobacco in this pipe is just right. And you'll get that pack compression just right, and you'll say, yeah, now this is perfect. And you'll get that one just right. But you put a different tobacco in there and it won't do the same thing in that same pipe because it's got a different moisture.
So that's why there's so many different types of pipes.
Yeah, that and two, you might find a different tobacco that is more wet, or maybe it's more dry, and you might want to let the more wet tobacco, the more sugary tobacco, you might want to let it lay out a little longer when you first get it and before you put it in your pouch. Or you might just put it in a pouch and let it, hang out with you for a week. While you're smoking it, it's going to you'll have to light it a little more often. But eventually in a week or so, you'll light it less as you're getting through the bowl. And then a more dry tobacco, you can take it and get a wet paper towel and just wring it out, lay it on the paper towel, put it in the microwave for about 10 seconds, and it'll moisturize that
Really?
tobacco. And then you could put it in what I normally do is even after I've done that, I let it lay out to make it a little more even overnight. But that's one way to moisturize. And a lot of people put a jar in with the tobacco in a microwave for about 10 seconds. But the best way to do it is what Mike has done with these, with a little disc, humidity disc, or you can use a Movida pack in a box. That works fine.
You could get if I could interject, you could get hydrating discs. I actually found out because I didn't know. Again, I've only been smoking the inside of a year. I found them on Amazon. Just type in tobacco hydrating disc. Pipes Magazine talks about it. YouTube talks about it. Well, I guess we're YouTube now. We're talking about it now. So check out hydrating discs. I don't know if you guys could see the bottom of the Dunhill from 2004 from the Georgia Piper. Man, I cannot wait to smoke that. I'm going to bring it in and we're all going to smoke on it.
Yeah, when you jar your tobacco, it's a little different than like when you put cigars in a humidor. I mean, in a humidor, you have airflow because humidors aren't airtight. when you jar your tobacco in a mason jar, it's airtight, so it's a little different. But when you first put it in there, it's okay to roll your tobacco. Otherwise, you might have a spot at the bottom where the tobacco is a little more humid than the rest. So it's okay to roll it, and for the first while that you have it in there, and it's okay to pull it out and check it, unless you like live in a nuclear, radiated area. Don't worry about it. It's okay to check your tobacco, just like you might check your cigars in a humidor. I think that the Parsimonious Piper, I'm sorry, it was Briar Blues. He had a great, top 10 things you don't do, and most of them had to do with the fact that there are no rules, really. If you're enjoying your pipe, don't worry about so much about the mechanics of it. If you've finally figured out something that works for you, stick with it and adjust it as you need to. And don't fight so much with your pipe, and ask questions, and as many ideas as you get, try them. Go ahead and try them.
Can you do a Yoda voice? Can you say that in a Yoda voice?
Probably not.
Enjoy pipe, you must.
Yeah. And I it's important that it's a relaxing time. And if you have to light your pipe 8 times through the bowl, don't worry about
That'd
it.
be me.
You don't worry about it. Just enjoy it.
Enjoy your pipe. I think that's so important. Talk a lot about how dying it is, pipe smoking. And we're trying to bring it back. I'm trying to bring it, where I walk around in public and I'm smoking my pipe. And I was just walking with my wife last night after dinner, and I was smoking some King's Foil by the Country Squire. Not a sponsor yet. I love the Country Squire, man. They make great blends. Quinn's such a cool guy. John David Bow at the Country Squire Radio, so cool. Cool people. Anyway, they make great tobacco, great starter blends. They're easy to light. They're smooth. They burn well. But boy, do I love King's Foil. Anybody knows me knows I love that King's Foil blend. And I was smoking it after dinner, and a guy walked up to me and he was like, "Hey man, what is that? That smells great." And I said, "Man, it's called King's Foil by the Country Squire." And he said, "I don't smoke a pipe, but I think I'm going to start." And that's the world I want, and I want everybody to normalize pipe smoking. I think it's such a fun hobby. I've loved it since the start. And man, we are getting somewhere here. We are moving on before we run out of time. I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time tonight. I've got a guest who's going to join us, and we've actually got a new number to call him on. Jump if you want to take a look at that new number there.
Okay.
This is Bo Parker coming to us from Heretics Pipe Club. He is dabbled in YouTube. He's on Instagram, well known in the IGPC, the YTPC. Solid dude, years of experience of pipe smoking. Man, he knows his stuff. He actually I don't know if you guys saw the last video. If you haven't, go watch it after they watch this one. Where he sent us a package of super rare tobacco blends, and man, were they some good stuff. I've tackled about half of them. I've got a little bit more left to go, but boy, they're good stuff. And I think Bo is joining us now.
Hey.
Bo, we got you? Perfect. Can we turn him to... We're going to turn you to face the camera. So we wanted to have him on the TV behind us, but Roku did not want to cooperate. Go figure. So we're going to do this a little. We're going to work on that next time.
All right. Can y'all see him? Yep.
All right. We
Great.
can see you.
Bo, why don't you say something so we know that.
Hey,
All right. Good.
I'm here.
Hey. All right.
Hear me?
Yep. Yeah, we hear you. We're hoping the internet works in our favor. We'll make this kind of I've got 3 questions, Bo, I'm going to start you with.
I've got way more answers than 3.
All right.
No, that's great.
Well,
great.
Jump's
Take your time.
gonna ask you some questions, and I think Chris is gonna ask you some questions. I'm gonna kick us off though. Tell us a little bit about what Heretic Pipe Club stands for. I know it's such a cool name. It's catchy. And what does that mean to you? Where did you get that from?
So, where we are up in the upstate of South Carolina, there is an established pipe club that's like a legit. They pay their dues and everything. There were 4 of us: Justin, Evan, Zach, and I. There's a card one in there. Sorry. And Justin looked over one day and he was like, "We need a pipe club that we can be a part of." And Zach, whose Instagram is at Old Soul with the EOLDESOUL, is an artist in lots of different ways. But Zach was like, "I can draw a logo." And Evan was like, "Hey, I don't want it to be stupid though." And I just kind of sat there for the first part. And I was like, "Well, we're all a bunch of heretics in one way or the other." And so that was kind of where the whole thing started. Heretic, of course, if you're looking at it from a religious standpoint, somebody who doesn't tell the truth. But there's a second definition. Like, you just go Google the definition of the word heretic. The second definition that comes up is somebody who does things outside of the norm. Somebody who does stuff that's not the normal way of doing things. And that pretty much describes us totally. We added a couple more guys to the club, Phil and Everett. Everett is who you'll see on our Instagram is Saw Slayer. He's started making pipes. This is my Saw Slayer pipe that he made me, which is this wild bulldog that's got a cant. It has the square top, but he smoothed the bottom. He kind of just took everything that I liked about pipes with like the black and white juxtaposition, to use a word that I don't actually know what it means. And that's kind of where we came from. We're just 6 dudes in the upstate that love pipes, love the pipe community. I've been smoking a pipe for the better part of 20 years. All those guys have been smoking for years, and we all have connections to kind of our dads and grandpas. It's kind of a generational thing for all of us. And we love making connections and hanging out with other guys and gals and smoking pipes.
I love it. And Bo, I love what you said about, heretic meaning outside the norm, because as you well know, for being a pipe smoker the better of 20 years, pipe smoking in itself is outside the normal now. So we got to stoke the fire again. Thank you. Sorry. So yeah, I like what you said about, pipe smoking itself is outside the norm, and it's just, I guess a double entendre, if you will, a Heretic's Pipe Club, it's already outside the norm of you smoking a pipe. Anyway, go ahead. What you said, Bo? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't say anything.
Yeah. Next question I have for you is your favorite pipe and why. I know we've talked a little bit about that on our Instagram between each other, but for our viewers on YouTube, I want you to tell me a little bit about that.
All right. So it's actually this pipe. I broke it out. I only smoke it every now and then, but I broke it out for tonight just in case you asked that.
There we go.
Hold on.
Almost like you were prepped beforehand about what the topics were.
Yeah, so it's an acorn. It's a mini acorn from Briarworks. It's got this sweet yellow stem. It's got some gunk in it right now because I've been smoking it like a cheap. But it's got all this beautiful bird's eye kind of along the bottom. It's got that perfect green grain going down the sides. But my wife and I adopted our daughter at birth in Louisiana. And while we were down there, I was talking about getting a new pipe and all that stuff. And she was like, all right, well, I should get you one that kind of commemorates the birth of our daughter. And so when we got home, this little guy was waiting on me. So I think that kind of made it my favorite by default, even though it is a beautiful pipe too.
Wow, that's emotional. Yeah, as a father as well, I think we're all fathers in this room. That's definitely something that we can all relate with. We love our families, we love our children, and just to have a piece of your favorite hobby to commemorate probably one of the favorite things about your life is just so awesome. Really, really incredible stuff. Next question, Bo. Your favorite tobacco?
Oh man, that's like
Yeah,
it's like asking which is your favorite kid or which one's your favorite dog. I think my favorite anytime just any tobacco on the board, I'd say my favorite has got to be our best blend from Smokers Haven. It's blended by Germain's. I don't know if they're ever going to make it again. It was supposed to be released again probably sometime last year, but anyway, that one or Stonehaven from Esoterica, which is Germain's as well. Those are two of my favorites. I think maybe my favorite is every day that I can just go to the pipe shop and pick up and never have to worry whether it's there or not. Might be Irish Flake from Peterson. It's such a solid, get it anytime kind of blend.
Bo. I know you sent us some tobacco last time. I want to return the favor. I'm gonna find you some. I'm gonna find you some Irish Flake and send you some. I don't know. I don't know about the Stonehaven. I know that's kind of hard to find, but I'm gonna send you.
They don't make enough of it.
Right. Yeah, they don't. That's right. I'm gonna send you a little bit of Bow-Legged Bear, which is my favorite from Cornell and Deal. I don't know if you've ever had it, but I mean,
It's fantastic. Yeah.
it's like little fairies dancing on your tongue. I've never had it elsewhere. It sings to me. I think because I'm a big dude. I see the bear on the can, and it just takes me there. It just takes me all the way. I think Jump's gonna ask you some questions. I'm gonna hush up now and pass the torch. So,
Well, there are a lot of us old timers in the YouTube pipe community, and a lot of us we get stuck in our ways.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering what do you recommend that maybe we are missing? What advice do you have? Things that we may need to try, like for instance, I bought a compass.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would have never done that. Probably 5 years ago, I would have said nah. But I bought a compass and went ahead and bought one of the extensions, and I'm enjoying it because it's such a cool smoke. And now it does get hot.
Yeah.
But I like it. It's a good. But I wouldn't have done that, and I did it at the urging of a younger pipe smoker who was like, "Man, you got to try this. Quit being a fuddy duddy." And so anyway, I'm just curious what kind of advice do you have to some of us older guys? Things that we might be overlooking.
Yeah, those compasses are great. Those and the L-Tang Basic, which is kind of that same. They're basically a briar bowl, creation that looks and smokes a lot like a good corn cob.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're a great cool smoke. You're right. They will get hot because there's not much there. I mean, it's just a real basic, low cost but high quality smoke. As far as blends or tobacco goes, I would definitely say check out Ken Byron Ventures. Those are some wild and fun tobaccos. He is. I don't know Ken really at all, but man, some of the stuff that he's coming out with is amazing. His Jupiter slices, which are just a red Virginia cake, that he does, are phenomenal. I mean, I would put them up there with since you say old hat. I mean, I'd put it up there with 5100.
Oh wow!
And that kind of world. And as far as the quality of the Virginia, it's good stuff. For pipes, it's one of those things where, and I'm the same way. I don't venture out a ton. I like my Bulldogs, and I like my Liverpool's, Canadians, and stuff. You know, those long briars to get that cool smoke on a Virginia. But yeah, I'd say, you know, check out these young guys in the pipe making world. And I say young in the sense of they've not been making pipes that long. Briarworks is a good example. I mean, that company's not really been around that long. Todd and Pete started the company, and so, you know, they've been making pipes forever. But they've got some young guys that are working with them. Their drill holes are incredible draw. Every pipe that comes out of that factory is just super high quality. If you haven't been up to that place, you definitely need to make a pilgrimage to Columbia, Tennessee, and check that place out. It's incredible. That, and I would say just don't be afraid to grab a couple tins of whatever new thing is coming out. I say a couple because one to smoke now and one to store. If the other one's not any good, you hand it off and be like, oh yeah, I got this for you. This is a little gift for you. And secretly you're thinking, this is crap. I hate this thing.
May have done that one or two times. Speaking of Briarworks, we're actually going to the Muletown Pipe Show in 2 weeks.
So good.
Yeah, we won't have a video that Saturday, but boy, will we be shopping for some goodies. Super excited about that. Jump, you got any other questions? Or
No, I think. What about you, Chris? You got anything?
What's your number one tip for a noose pipe smoker, and what's something to avoid?
The main thing, the best way to get good at smoking pipes is to keep smoking pipes. You know, exactly what you guys were talking about earlier of there's not a wrong way to do it. You've got to find kind of your rhythm. Everybody breathes different. Everybody puffs different. Fire is an inconsistent thing. And so lighting a pipe is tough. You know, when you're first starting, especially, there are pipes like Boda, Pipes and Cigars here in Greenville, South Carolina. They have pipes that have this small drill hole in the shank that make it easier to keep the pipe going. Practice on corn cobs, because worst case scenario is you burn up a $5 to $15 pipe and not your good briar pipe. But yeah, just keep going. Try everything. Try every single blend, except for Captain Black Grape. Don't ever smoke that.
There's a
If
joke
you follow me
missing.
at all on Instagram, you'll see I'm very much against that stuff. Yeah, I mean, try everything. I was a aromatics guy. Loved aromatics for years. Then got on English blends and smoked nothing but English blends for a while. And for me, it was lap bombs. I love the lap bombs. And probably the last 5 or 6 years have really come around to where I have a real love and appreciation for Virginia blends. I've always loved Burley. Burley's always been a big one for me, but just keep smoking, just keep trying stuff. It's not easy. That's part of the beauty of it. You know, good stuff rarely is easy. Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet a little bit and go, all right, I smoked 2 pipes tonight. I didn't enjoy either one of them, but I'm going to go smoke another pipe tomorrow because I'm going to figure out why this is a good thing.
Thank you.
I think I've been there once before. You know, I've been smoking for the inside of the year, but there's some days I wake up and I just don't feel like smoking a pipe that day, and then I slap myself in the face and say, "What are you doing, Mike?" And then I go smoke a pipe anyway.
That never happens to me.
No, it never really happens to me either. You know, I think it did a little bit when it was so cold outside. My wife didn't let me smoke inside. You know, we got a baby at the house, so no go. And when it's 25 degrees outside and on my front porch, and
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sitting
not
there with
going outside. 25.
my Chelsea Morning and I love Chelsea Morning in the winter. You know, by GLP's great tobacco.
I love the smell of napalm in the winter.
It's spelled napalm. Okay. Smell of napalm. Anyway, Bo, you want to? I think, are we ready to close out? I think this has been a real fun episode.
One question for him.
Okay.
What's something that you think we should do in a podcast?
There you go.
I mean, naked podcast is always a fun idea.
Naked.
I'm
No,
gonna
I
pass on
think
that
what
one.
you guys, I think what you guys are doing is great. Something that could be fun is to one of you guys pick a tin. The other guys don't know what it is. Move it into a jar that's unlabeled. Everybody smoke it. That way you get some some real ideas of something that you don't have any preconceived notions about. We did that with some of our boys, and I put some Kringle Flake in a jar, and I put some Carolina Red Flake with Perique in a jar. But because they're so similar, they're very similar, and we all kind of sat around and puffed on them, and everybody picked which one was their favorite, and then revealed what they were.
Cool.
Grab some bulk stuff and tell everybody it came out of a tin, and trick people into enjoying a good bulk.
Well, I'm gonna get some Captain Black grape and put that in a jar and see what
Do
happens.
it. I mean, if you like Kool-Aid and cigarettes, I highly suggest it.
We have a friend that comes in here and he grabs this one cigar, and I tell you what, it smells like
like
bubble gum. Bubble gum. He's the only guy that buys them.
It's not acid Cuba, is it?
It is not Cuba, but it's worse than that.
It's hard to get worse than that.
Yeah, it is exactly. When you light it up, you smell bubble gum, and you're like, ooh. But he loves it.
Good.
Oh man, what a fun! I'm just so blessed that we could be here together doing this. This has just been awesome. Bo, I really appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time tonight to
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for letting me pop on.
to have a pipe with us. You want to close us out with a quote, Bo, or any closing comments?
Yeah, I think my favorite quote about pipe smoking comes from good old C.S. Lewis, who was a avid pipe smoker. Him and Tolkien were best buddies and smoked pipes together. But somebody asked Lewis at some point why pipe smoking was a good thing, and I may butcher this, so don't. But his quote was something along the lines of it gives the wise man time to think, and it gives the fool something to put in his mouth. And I think we've all been on both sides of that at some point. We've all needed to stick something in our mouth and shut up, and then it's also given us some time to contemplate. So that's kind of my go-to.
All right.
I love it.
I love it. Me too. All right. Well, that's the end of our first air quotes concerning Piper's episode. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank everyone, Chris Jump, for being here, John behind the scenes for helping us with some lighting and some technical stuff.
Anything in the chat that we need to Burley? What about it?
A lot of people are saying they like the Burley.
Oh, they like the Burley. Yeah.
Salani aged Burley Flake. Can't go wrong with that's top of the line Burley to me.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
Before we close out.
Yeah.
You took this and what were you doing with the pick?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, Chris asked me what I'm doing with this little pick here on the Sheck tool. This is kind of how I stoke the fire when I get about halfway through the bowl. Got a lot of ash on top as you're going down. So what you want to do is you want to get in here and just kind of stir it up. This helps keep it lit while you're going, And if you feel it, if you're not really getting a lot of smoke, take your little poker, stir up the ash, and then tamp it back down.
Then light it.
Well,
Or draw on it.
Okay.
The ash will mix with the ember, and it'll actually stoke up the flame a little bit.
also, if you notice your pipe going out, you take your 2 fingers like this.
And you'll notice that depending on how much ember he had enough ember, and he got it going right away.
Okay. Yeah, while he was talking, he started picking with it. I was like, "What's he doing?"
Yeah, because it was going out while I was talking. So, yeah.
So if you take the tamper and do it, it'll just put the ember out. But if you have a big ember, you can tamp. You can slightly press and draw, and it'll keep the flame going. But if your ember's not as large, you can take the poker and you can mix up that ash just a little bit. You don't
Just a
dig
little
way
bit.
down in there, and it'll fall down into the ember and start drawing on it, and you'll see it.
Like I say, it's a cigar smoker. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another little trick is if you have a butane lighter and you're clicking it and it won't light, if you turn it sideways like this and point the flame up, it may light. A lot of butane lighters, they'll light better if you turn them up. Turn the flame
Yes.
skyward, and they'll light, and then you can do it. But if you start lighting here and it won't light, just turn it skyward, light it, and then bring it up, and it'll light.
You can't go wrong with a Zippo either, though. The Zippos are great. Well, I think that we're about out of time. That concludes, like I said, episode 1 concerning pipers. Did a little pipe smoking 101. Shout out to Heretics Pipe Club, Bo Parker, for being our guest. We appreciate you, Bo. Shout out to tobaccopipes.com for the gift. My wife for our smokypipes.com gift. Don't forget, smokypipes.com has a deal. Get a Peterson, get a tin of Cornell and deal St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to smoke this tonight. Excellent stuff.
See you at Briarworks in 2 weeks.
See you at Briarworks in 2 weeks at Muletown Pipe
Be
Show.
there or be along.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out to Georgia Piper on Instagram for my fantastic box that he gave. Man, I can't. Blown away.
Heretics Pipe Club.
Yep. Cloud Bear, thank you for the folklore and some of your blends that we're sure to try. And
Anthony, Ant-Man
we miss you.
we miss you.
We miss you, Ant-Man.
But we like Chris too.
But we like Chris. Chris may be a permanent figure in our show as well.
And John Madewell for lighting the room and producing the buttons.
All right. Bye, everybody. Happy smokes.
See y'all.
Yep. We're good.
You could just. Yep, that's it.
Wow. That was great.